Welcome to the Family Office, planning for the people who matter most.
So yeah, in regards to health, that I think this is probably the most exciting area of the year that I think I've been more excited about anything has just been in the areas of health, the advancement in health. And I'll let you start with that, where you're at, Len, unless you got a question for me. But where are you at with that as far as what's the most important things for health for you?
Okay, so I'm going to differentiate because the most important to me versus the biggest are two different. And so the biggest story of 2025 in my mind is the whole weight loss revolution with Ozempic and all of these GLP-1 drugs that are being used. And now we're looking at the possibility of going from an injectable to a pill. I think that's going to change the trajectory of so many people's health. And what I don't know is what that's going to look like long term, because, while there may not be short-term side effects, if I'm a drug company and I test humans for a year or 2 years before I release the drug, and I don't see necessarily any health impacts, I'm going to say, hey, you might have some dry mouth, some diarrhea, a couple of, aches and pains here, but I can make billions upon billions of dollars. So let's go ahead and get this FDA approved and let's get this moving along. But who's to say that in 5, 10, 15 years, the impact of that drug on one's body doesn't end up hurting people long term? I don't know what that's going to be, but when I look at just the fact that people are relying on a pill or an injection to lose weight, I always have concerns about that, because that makes me think about, it's cool to use tools to enhance your efficiency. But when it comes down to the body, I think the body always keeps score, man. And I don't think there's any shortcuts to eating a good nutritious meal and working out and keeping your body active, because your muscles need stress, your joints need work. And if you bypass that process, my concern is that as people get into their 60s and 70s, which is where my line of work starts to come in, I'd prefer more people to be healthy, to have fewer people for us to serve, because that means that people are overall more healthy. I'm concerned about the fact that in their 60s and 70s, while they've been artificially staying good looking from a vanity standpoint, that their muscles and their joints aren't getting a sufficient enough workout to maintain their longevity and vitality. So to me, that's the biggest story health-wise of 2025. The most important story of 2025 is the potential breakthrough where one can reduce Alzheimer's by reducing the amount of plaque that accumulates in the arteries and in the brain, which could then significantly reduce the onset of Alzheimer's and dementia. And so those things are really of significant importance, because right now we have an aging population. It's the oldest that this number of people have ever been in the history of America. And because of that, I think that we need to find ways to make sure that we can help people to live longer and live more healthily. And that is a significant potential breakthrough. So those are the two for me, the biggest story and the most important story.
I think you're spot on both of those. I'm going to give you a little bit more of a nefarious standpoint maybe on it,
okay,
but also at the same time a good one. And maybe this will track a little bit with you. I think the most exciting thing for me, which is going on in the health space, is the access to information. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that we'd have the level of access to information we have today had administrations not changed. Simply because we knew the way contrary information was censored under previous administrations, and that's not a conspiracy. That's a fact. We know it. I mean, Zuckerberg even told us that. But I think what's interesting here is that you can actually get the correct information. And you're starting to see these studies now, these long-term, massive controlled studies that are coming out that are completely debunking what has been a lie for 30 years, as far as I can remember, which is the food pyramid, the FDA food pyramid, which is absolutely a lie. You should just turn the FDA pyramid upside down and then it's correct. Like, it's so stupid. Did baby boomers invent the FDA food pyramid that we use? Or is it?
I think it was around before them.
Was it around before them? Len, was it around before them? Baby boomers. You baby boomers, you.
You are a mess, man.
I will be, I swear I will, I don't know what I'll do if it says they invented it. I don't know. I might go into cardiac arrest, maybe. I have no idea. Who knows? Does it say or no?
It says
Anyways.
1992. It was definitely before then. It says the first pyramid was published in Sweden in 1974.
No, the U.S. pyramid was, if it was invented in the 92s, then it was baby boomers, hands down. There's no denying.
No, but it was before that, because I remember when I was in school, the whole food pyramid. So keep going, Chris. I'll find it.
When you look at this, I think the most exciting thing is access to information, because now you're looking at this, and I think what's happening now is you're creating two sides now of the spectrum, and what you're getting now is you're getting people who are not in shape, and you're getting people who are in shape, and it is becoming not at least this is how I feel. It feels to me, what I see is it's not about fat shaming anymore. It's about like, if you're in shape now, it's not just like, you know how normally when you see someone who's in shape, you're like, oh, you admire that person. It's a natural reaction that you admire that person, right? Mm-hmm. Like when you see somebody, think about it. If they lost weight and they look better, you go, oh, you lost weight, right? Mm-hmm. If you see somebody and they gained weight, you don't go, oh, you gained weight, you're glowing, right? But what you do say is when you turn around and go, bro, Len, did you see Larry? Larry got fat, bro. Right? That's what you do. Right? Mm-hmm, and if Larry got good, when you got away, we would go, damn, bro, do you see what Larry doing? Larry's freaking looking good, man. What the heck's he been doing, dude? Mm-hmm. He's got to be dating or something. What the hell? Right? That's what it is. So today, though, what it is, I think, is what you're seeing now with the access to information is not just like, oh, you see someone, oh, they're in shape. That's cool, right? You see them and you go, oh, right on, bro. You're in the club now. You're in the club, because now it's like, it's trendy, or it's not trendy, but it's like there's no excuse for it anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's no excuse. It's almost like, dude, if you're not in shape, like what's wrong with you? Like, bro, what the heck's wrong with you? And it's not about not being inclusive or anything like that. And to anyone out there that might watch this one day and go, oh, Chris, that's not nice to do. Dude, I was 225 pounds at one point in my life. I weigh $170 now because I was a fat, you know what? Because I ate too much sugar, and I switched it. And I changed it up and I got in shape. And then I was a skinny fat person too for a long time in my life. And if you don't know what that is, it means where you're skinny, but you're still fat. And then there's a difference between fat, skinny, fit, and athletic. And let me tell you, most women want a fit or an athletic guy, not a fat guy or a skinny fat guy. Just saying, guys out there. But it takes work. But I think that's one of the things, and I think what that is causing ultimately is you're starting to see people that are now eating because they want it, not because because they need it, not because they want it. So you're starting to, and that's why you're seeing declines in fast food and all this stuff, because people are now have access to information. They're going, dude, I don't need to eat a double quarter pounder with cheese and a supersized French fry and a Diet Coke and a breakfast burrito from McDonald's anymore. I can get up and make a blueberry, blackberry, Greek yogurt protein shake with 6 raw eggs, down that in the morning, go to work, be lean and cut and mean, have a salad for lunch, come home and eat a big fat steak and be happy. And not have to buy fast food and spend less doing it, because we've reached that point right now where you can go to Whole Foods and get a grass-fed steak and feed yourself on that for 3 days cheaper than it would to feed yourself on the shit fast food that people think is more economic to buy now, because we've reached that point now today in both affordability crisis, but also in health, where it's now easy to eat. I think it's easier to eat clean and eat healthy today now than it was a couple years ago, because you have access to the information. But not only that, now you're starting to see it. Just go to Costco and you'll see the amount of organic, non-GMO, grass-fed 100%, all these things, glyphosate free. So I think for me, that's the biggest thing, is that we're starting to now come out of this fog of war, that whether it was created by people before the baby boomers or it was the baby boomers, sorry, margarine is not healthy for you. Country crock is not good. It's not. Butter is good. Salted, grass-fed, fat butter is good for you. It's good, right? And that's what I think is exciting about health. And you said dementia, which is huge, because my grandfather passed away, which is ultimately type 3 diabetes, or form of it. Look, get on a ketogenic diet. That's one of the most exciting things for me, is that you can understand how to eat for your body type now. Not just, I need to get on a diet. Like, you can understand and go to a holistic doctor and not buy the BS that Big Pharma wants to sell you, and get a holistic report for your body and your blood type and what all the metrics, and say, you know what? Len Cooper, you do good on a paleo Mediterranean diet. Right? Len, you do good. Like, for example, my brother-in-law, you know him, Gene. He's a beast, by the way. Guy looks like he's ready to go on Mr. Olympian, right? And he was vegan, but he couldn't understand why he had such bad eczema and such bad mental disease and stress and all that stuff. Well, guess what? He can't, as soon as he cuts out vegetables and he cuts out like greens and only eats a little bit, it's only 10% of his diet, all that goes away. Goes to the doctor, gets a lab. He can't handle the oxalates like you and I might be able to. I can eat vegetables all day long and it does nothing to me. Just like some people can't eat dairy and some people can eat dairy. It's the same exact thing. So that to me is the most exciting thing. Besides the fact that you can now legally take methylene blue. It's awesome. Thanks, RFK. Everybody had a Merry Christmas. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. If you haven't celebrated that yet, have a Happy New Year. Stay safe. And we'll see you next year. Thank you, Len. Have an amazing one. And we'll see how things shift. And now, that's being said, if you like the content, subscribe, comment. We love to hear from you. And again, at the end of the day, we want to have a great, clean dialogue. And then obviously at the end of the day, have a beer and be friends. And that's really what this is all about. You don't have to agree all the time, but have a conversation and have a dialogue and a discourse about it. That's really what it's about. So everybody have a great, Happy New Year again. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time, Len. Thank you.
Conversation has given you clarity on your next steps. Please share this episode with someone who's walking the same path. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future episodes. And remember, planning ahead isn't just prudent, it's an act of care. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Family Office.